Yo!
We have taken Charlie.
Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game. Today we've got It's Not Delivery, It's diWarno playing as 9th US, and he's going up against Son of Vulkan playing as 27Y. Not that Vulkan, the other one. And yeah, so we'll cover the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for It's Not Delivery, It's diWarno, and he's playing 9th US. I agree with the vast majority of it, so we'll go through it tab by tab, but there won't be too many disagreements because most of it makes sense to me. I did a division review recently for 9th, and uh, yeah, I think some learnings have been learnt. So you don't really need 2 cards of supply on this division because you don't get that much artillery, you don't get heavy tanks, right? So you don't really need more than 2 cards. In terms of your supply options for 1v1, so this is great because 30 points for 750 supply. It's just a nice middle ground. And then you only get 1 card of this, so you're basically forced to bring these. So they're Cook V supplies, so 20 points, but for only 300 supply, whereas this is 750 for 30. You can sell it, right? But while it's not being sold, that's something that's money tied up basically. There is an economics term for it. I can't remember. So yeah, these sadly are a bit annoying, but they can be useful in that they're so cheap that usually you can just buy one if you need one and just put it wherever you need it to go. So it's all good. In terms of the third supply option, which is the Helo supply, in 1v1, not particularly useful. Basically, the idea would be this would go near the front lines, and then you take these to and from, or these to and from the helicopter to the front lines. I mean, you don't really need it. These two are good. Then, in terms of your CV options, you've got 3 availability Humvee at 6 strength, which is actually kind of a big deal. So if you compare this to the Iltis PC, which one is it? Is it the Iltis? It might be the P4 PC. Yes, so this is also 85. France suffers, right? You'll note that the Iltis is, you know, it's cheaper, it's the same. But anyway, so compare this to the Humvee CP, whatever, and the Humvee is slower, but it gets 2 more HP and the same availability, which I prefer, really. Having more HP means you don't die to the first howitzer round that hits you, although you still might actually because you've got less than 1 armor. Anyway, so yeah, your other options are this, which is tracked but 2 availability. It is really cheap though. And the Helo CV, which I don't recommend. There's only one top player who uses the Helo CV, and yeah, I think it's just a waste of time, really. So infantry tab. So here we go. So we've got light rifles leader at 2 per card, and so yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's all good on the CVs. 3 CV cards. And so yeah, this is 3 per card, 2 per card, 45 points for smoke and AT. Or you can pay 70 points for no AT and no smoke, but high HP, which means if you get caught in a situation, you might be able to survive on pure tankiness, but it's always better to have the smoke and the AT. Otherwise the vehicle's just going to drive into you and hurt you. This is 6 strength with 3 availability for 40 points, so if you just want pure availability, this is the best choice, because it's still 6 strength, like this one, but it's 3 availability. The thing is, you don't really need that because you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But let's say hypothetically you didn't have this tank CV card. You'd want this to be a 3 and this to be a 3, really. So just something to keep in mind. And then the one we spoke about. So I think this is the best one if you don't care about availability, basically, because it's got AT and smoke, whereas this has AT but no smoke. But it has 1 more availability. But it's reservist, so it's going to route, like if the mortar round lands near it, it's going to start running out of the zone. Anyway, so the core of 9th US is you spam light rifles, which are an extremely good infantry squad, anti-infantry squad, Just very good line infantry, basically. I mean, they're not like sappers or whatever. And they come in these 30-point grenade launcher transports, and that's really useful. So these are very useful. 30 points for... It's basically, you don't get IFVs, so this is your thing. And they're very good against infantry. Against vehicles, they're pretty much useless, but they're good against infantry. And so these are your IFV equivalent. And so, yeah, 2 cards of Light Rifle Law, which have a DMR, 2 machine guns, and the Law. The DMR is like 2 machine guns, so that's like 4 machine guns, which is like 8 rifles, which is... So this shoots with the strength of 14 rifles, more or less. The strength of the DMR is more in terms of its suppression. And, sorry, I'm getting really self-conscious. Somebody said that I have a massive forehead. I actually have an appropriately sized forehead. It's just because of the way this thing works, it makes it look like, you know, I'm all forehead. Because the point of a forehead is that you can put your 4 fingers and go like that, and it'll cover between your eyebrows and your hairline. And then, like, so I have a very appropriately sized forehead, but I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't let these things get to me, but it did. And I still, it was actually quite a while ago, I still remember it. So what can I say? I'm not immune to criticism. Anyway, then the light rifles dragon, who just have 3 machine guns. So that's, you know, 6 plus 6, so that's 12 shooty, and they get a dragon too. So you can bring whatever, you know, however many of each one you want. This is better against infantry, and this is better against vehicles. And then the MP patrol is a vital part of this this setup, because it comes with, so the recoilless rifle's cool for engaging infantry and stuff. Military police is cool. You put it with your other units, it buffs them. The main thing is the military police vehicle, which comes in a lot of handy when you're talking about the smoke mortars, because that's National Guard, so it's reservist, and this is National Guard as well. So that's a must bring, really, if you want your other tabs to work. Then we've got some engineers, so these are just, you know, throw satchels at people. I've seen people use engineers flash, but it's got 5 strength, and like, the flash is good, but it's got 5 strength. It's kind of hard to use. It's a bit unwieldy. If you've got really good micro, it works, because you basically just make sure there's always a bigger squad in front of it, and then the flash will hit them. So that's one way of doing things. And then we've got ITOs at Novet, and then TOW2s at Tovet, at Novet. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of ATGMs. Do you really need this? The air tab's full, okay, but like, do you really need the ITO? Do you? I mean, you've got TOWs, you've got 9 ATGMs there, plus another 3, and then plus another 4, and then these are obviously not great anymore, but they used to have a lot more range. But they are something. So you might want to consider getting rid of this and replacing it with what exactly? We'll see if we... I mean, yeah, we'll just keep it in mind. We'll just keep it in mind. I mean, it's good, right? It's like a Conkers, except it's got less availability because it's got 3 strength, which is... And it's got a bit more accuracy. Arty, so this is where the fun begins. Okay, well, this is where you could use it, really. You could, hypothetically, right, get rid of the ITO and then bring 2 of these at 1 vet, and it's just up to you whether or not you think that capability is worth it. It probably isn't, to tell you the truth. Anyway, these are the best howitzer because they have guided indirect fire. So if you've got a recon unit near it, it'll get a really tight dispersion circle, and then you can hurt people a lot. The disadvantage is that... its dispersion without the indirect rounds is actually less, because this has more range. So if you don't have recon, it's worse than this would be. Whereas if you do have recon, it's better than this would be. So, you know, it is what it is. Then we've got the coffin launchers, so the only coffin launcher on NATO, at least so far. And basically this launches these mine-clearing devices, and then they blow up and hurt infantry and vehicles and stuff. Really good piece of kit. The advantage of this is that it can survive a TOW2 hit, and it's got smoke, so really good piece of kit. Then self-propelled smoke mortars, so between the 2 of them, this one's got more availability, but then this one's got more range. So it just depends which one you want. You don't really need 4 self-propelled smoke mortars. The idea behind them being self-propelled is that they shouldn't die to counter battery because you should be moving them between volleys. So yeah, just remember. So this reservist debuff actually makes them aim slower, reload slower, and therefore shoot slower. It's just that's not reflected on the stat card at all. They said in the reservist rework dev diary that they would fix that so that the tooltip is actually right and it would just be about suppression. I think that's what they said. I can't remember. But for now, they're useless. So you see people bring in like this on 24th instead of the regular one because they're like, oh, it's cheaper and it's the same. But no, the stat card's just lying to you. The game does that a lot, sadly. Whatever, Broken Arrow's coming out soon. So yeah, make sure you always put a military police vehicle with them. Tank tab. So the M60 command can be useful to have an armoured CV, right, if you're expecting artillery and so on. Yeah, it's all good. Then you've got the M60A3 TTS, so this is a pretty decent tank. Now that it's 130, it's still a bit weaker than like the T55 line or whatever for the price. It's a shame really, because obviously in real life NATO was much better than Pact, and that's why NATO won. But in this game, it's just sort of made up. Anyway, can survive a TOW 2 hit. The gun on it has got nice everything except the penetration. The penetration's really weak. And yeah, then you've got the National Guard variant, which will tell you, it will happily tell you it's exactly the same, when, as I've just explained, it really, really isn't. So make sure that you put the military police vehicle with the National Guard tank. Then we've got the Cook V, so this thing's hilarious. It's NATO's only ground launch 2,800 meter range ATGM. So you just kind of sit there and whack people. It's really fun. It's really fun. It used to be a bit more overpowered because the aim time was 1 second, whereas all other ATGMs are 2 seconds. And then once you run out of these, you bring the TOW 2, which has more pen, but less range, less accuracy, and the missile isn't as fast. The missile on this is super fast. That's one of the reasons it's so lethal. Now that the aim time's changed, this has changed a bit, but usually you can just engage the enemy tank and kill him before he can even shoot back. Recon tab, so scouts in the Humvee grenade launcher. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely seen the deck review that I did for the other in the other game. So there's a reason I'm not changing much, and it's because this has basically already been through the improvement process. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, so if you go on my channel, it's this one. So if you want to see like another ninth game, I think it was this one, yeah. If you want to see another ninth game, and like, I mean, I'm basically just explaining it all anyway, but this is where this deck is taken from. So, where were we? Scouts in the grenade launcher vehicle, great for grenade launching people. You can get away with not having them, but whatever. Then, well, I mean, you need some recon, so you might as well bring that. Then these snipers are absolutely cracked. This thing goes at 120, which means it gets there faster than airborne forward deployment at 100. And the sniper, the 50 cal, basically can like one shot for if both, because it's multiplied by 5 when they're stood still. So this is actually 1.25 plus 0.15, which is, you know, 1.4. Then you times it by 5, which is a lot. It's many. It's many. It's what, 7? 1.4 times by 5 is 7. Oh, I'm so smart. What you do is you times it by 10 and then divide it by 2. So it's 14 divided by 2, which is 7. Which definitely one-shots the enemy 4 HP thing coming the other way and just blows it up and all the infantry inside die. So, yeah. Then the grenade launcher one also at 120, and then the TOW 2 one also at 120. So very strong forward deployment on this division. Then the Aquila drone really helps because drones are really annoying and they provide great targeting and are very difficult to shoot down for some reason. And then this thing is 4 availability with a Cobra gun on it, whereas this is 3 with a minigun. and this is 3 with 14 Hydra rockets. But no, this is 4 with. I mean, it doesn't make any sense really. So you have to bring this one. It's just way better than the other ones because the gun's better, the availability is higher, and the price is the same as the rocket. Obviously, this is exceptional, but very good is enough, especially when you've got the drone. AA. So I don't really like the T-chap, but you know what can you do? Yeah, you don't really have much of a choice. You can bring the Avenger, but then you do struggle against planes. So yeah, if you're going to bring the T-Chap, bring it at 1 vet, because you definitely don't need 8 of them. It's just a Chaparral, but towed. Then the VAD, so you use this against infantry. It's really strong against infantry. You can up-vet it by 1, or you can leave it at 7. It's up to you. Then the Stingers. So, yeah, they've got nice base accuracy anyway, so you don't really need to up-vet them. And yeah, they're a nice manpad. Helis, so 1 card of tow cobras for the ITO, and then 1 card of rockets for, you know, shooting rockets at people. It's all good. And then air tab. So this division gets really good planes, but the air tab is kind of compact. You don't get that many planes, but they are really, really good planes. They're all good planes. So Eagle, good. It's not the good Eagle, right? It's worse than an SU-27 and it costs more. It's a big shame. Missiles have less range, less accuracy. Pact was just known for its incredible air force. Then we've got the F-16, and this is the good one. It's got shotgun missiles, so it shoots both of these at once. They've got very high accuracy. It's really, really good against helicopters and against planes. If you get close enough, it's really going to mess people up. Then the Seed. So this is one of the best Seed planes in the game. Good flight characteristics, excellent secondary weapons, good, very good primary weapon. I think this is the best Seed missile. I mean, the pen doesn't really matter. Then the FA-16AT. So this has got 2 guns on it. And this is very good against armor, basically. The guns run out of ammo really, really quickly, as you might imagine. 3.692 fire rate with 240 bullets. But this is per minute, right? And then the Mavericks, and it's the good Mavericks with the good accuracy. So, yeah, pretty decent piece of kit. Only Ligmas on it, not the M, which is better. It's got more accuracy and range. This is still worse than the best packed short-range missile, which is a stat clone, except it deals like 200 more suppression. Then the Cluster 2. This reloads in 4 minutes, which is a big oof. But your alternatives are this, which reloads in 6 minutes, or this, which reloads in 3 minutes, but its payload is inconsequential. So yeah, you're kind of forced to bring this. Yeah. So, switching to his opponent's deck, we've got Vulkan playing as 27Y. Some interesting decisions here. So you don't want a fob in 1v1. Just bring a 3rd card of supply. Truck supply will do. This is like the truck on the other one. And then this is, you know, cheap armoured supply. So it's sort of like the Cook V1, except slower, armoured, but carries more supply. A bit more expensive. Then in terms of CVs, right, so you've got a wheeled CV here. And, you know, you can bring it in the BTR-80, which is nice. 2 armour, 2 sets of guns, smoke, fast, pretty decent piece of kit. Or you can just bring it in the US, who cares? They both got 100 on the road anyway. And so this can be a tracked CV. I do not recommend bringing the BMP2 command CV. I just don't think that's a good idea. If you put it on the front line, it's going to get shot. So you might as well swap this out for these. These are only 40 points. You can literally just buy 2 at the start and just not have it affect your deployment really at all. And then these will go with your artillery. This is a bit of a weird one. And you've already got wheeled supplies, so these can be tracked and whatever. Just nice, cheap, cheerful supply. They're all 2 availability. Infantry, so this div you want to be spamming BMP2s and BMP3s. Right, well, we're just going to start again. For starters, he had a lot of CVs. What the heck? Right. Meta Squad, great for, you know, this is like the Dragon 2 equivalent. So you want that at 1 vet in a BTR-80. Then you want to get some BMP3s and some BMP2 AGs, which are the same as the BMP2 but have a grenade launcher, which makes them really good against infantry. So 2 cards BMP2, 2 cards BMP3, and you can consider updating the BMP3s because they are very expensive. or you can up-vet one and leave one down-vetted. 30mm grenade launcher team can be useful. Commandatura can be useful. This is good AT, but you don't really need it because these guys have very high pen anyway. Saperi for like shooting people, yeah, you had the Saperi RPO, why not? One vet. Then Conker's M for taking out vehicles. It's very good at it. Very high pen, nice range, decent accuracy. It's tandem as well, so it deals +1 damage to ERA. Which means, so basically the way tandem and ERA work in this game now is that ERA used to give you 2 HP, which I thought made a lot of sense. A lot of people didn't like it. Now it gives you 1 HP, but each shot from this will deal 1 more HP, which means that actually, after the second, it's actually disadvantageous to have ERA when you're facing tandem, because the tandem will do more damage than it would usually do. So it's interesting, yeah, and for the sake of 15 points, right? I mean, it's a lot better. It's closer to a Toe 2 than a Conkers, really. So that's how I would do it. I mean, 2 cards of Sappers is pretty wild, actually, especially when you've got Razvedka Saperi in here. So we could get rid of that, and then we could bring the Commandatura in the military police vehicle, and then this military police vehicle can go with your T-80s and make your T-80s way better. So that's something that's actually worth doing if you want your tank blob to be good. Or you can go for even more BMP2 spam and get Pulmachiki at 1 vet and get some more BMP2 AGs. It's entirely up to you, right? You can leave it empty if you want. But I like the military police if you can get them because of the vehicle. Put it with your tanks. Even if your tanks aren't reservist, the fact that it's military police will grant them a suppression regeneration bonus, which means you can cycle them faster. And in the fight, they'll survive for longer. You basically just click the vehicle, Shift F, click the tank, and it'll follow the tank around. It's how I like to do it, right? Anyway, you don't need 4 Nonas. They're not that great, really. If you want to smoke people with self-propelled smoke, okay, whatever. But yeah, then we've got the laser-guided Acacia, which is like the other Acacia, but it's got the laser guidance, and this is a 50-point difference, whereas the one on 9th is a 5-point difference. We might have to come back here and put something else in, right? So it could be that you upvet these, but I don't see the point in 4 Nonas. So it could be that you upvet these and have 2 of these that way. Or you could get the grad. It's honestly not a bad idea to have a grad when you're playing this div, because you know the game's going to be a long game. Anyway, T80BV, so this is where the 3rd command would come in, right? So get rid of one of these and get that. Never be bringing these at Novet. There you go, you've now got 6 T80BVs. The alternative, so let's say, I mean, you don't really need this, so you could get rid of that, and now you can get some more T80BVs. So there you go, now you've got 8 T80BVs, which I think is what he had before. Then the Conker's M, so this is the same thing, but on a wheel chassis, so this is really good as well. The Sprut I've seen people use. I find it's very hard to use. You can use it, and you can get, if you can get close enough, the penetration is very, very high. You're really going to mess people up, but it's kind of hard to get close enough. Recon, so yeah, so that's a lot of recon infantry. So Spetsrazvedka, these guys are ground surveillance radar, so they give you exceptional optics. So you want those in the BTR-80 for near the start, because you don't get any airborne forward deployment, so these guys are going to be your first ones in, and you need the BTR-80 to help them win a fight. Then Motorised Razvedka and the Razvedka BMP2, so you can bring this at Novet if you want, simply because the Razvedka BMP2 is so broken that you want as many of them as possible. But given how much recon infantry's here, I would be bringing it at 1 vet, and you've got plenty of regular BMP2, so you might as well bring it at 1 vet so it can be useful. It's broken because it's got mediocre stealth, and these guns the gun and the ATGM don't really make any noise, which means that you can have a Razvedka BMP2 just shooting you, and you can see it on the screen, and the game will just tell you, oh, you can't see him. It's really annoying, and that's because of that mediocre stealth and the amount of noise these guns make in-game. Obviously, in real life, they're kind of loud, right? So here's the sappers. So you want those at 1 vet so that they can actually get in and use the satchels. Then you definitely don't need this. What you want is this one. So this gives your tanks exceptional optics. So you click this, Shift F, click on your tank, and it'll follow your tank around and give your tank exceptional optics. AA, so this is a bit of a mess as well. Start again. So this div doesn't get the best AA in the world. Right, okay, so this is, yeah. So what you do is you bring 4 fighters, right? Don't use this ever. Excuse me. So you can do that, but then, yeah. So that gives us 4 points to play around with here. So the Tor is okay against planes, but it's not the best. Basically, the missile in real life shoots out the top with like a small booster and then shoots off to the side, and they can fire while moving and all sorts. There's none of that in this game. It just shoots in one thing and then bends, and it can't bend fast enough. So there's lots of situations. If the plane is like decently far away, it's fine. But if the plane flies right over it, it doesn't hit it. But you kind of need it. You don't really have a choice. It's kind of strange that this is like 3 availability, but I mean the accuracy is allegedly good, and it's good against helos. But anyway, then you've got a choice between the Tunguska and the Strela 10M. They both fulfill similar roles, which is close range anti-helo. I prefer the Strela 10M because this guy is just not very good. So just bring the Strela 10M. And then you want some man pads, so you get the Igla for man pads. And then, if you want to really ruin people's day, you bring this thing. This is like the VADs on the other side, the PIVADs. It's just exceptionally good against infantry, and is a total pain in the arse to fight against, so you just bring that. And then that's your AP. Then we've got Kokon 40 rockets. Kokon 40 rockets. I think this is way better, to be honest. For 5 points more, you get... So this is 40 not as good rockets, and then this is 20 bigger boom rockets that shoot from further away, so I prefer this one. But you can only bring one. Okay, you can bring 2, because he was already bringing 2. And then the third one can be, yeah, Kokon 8 rockets. 8 Kokons and then worse rockets. Whatever, I mean, it's not a big deal. This doesn't really work. AA helos you always want in, like, teams of preferably 3. Because the first one, the jet will dive and it will just kill the helo. And that's why you need multiple, because it kills one and then the rest kill the jet. If you've just got one, it doesn't work. AA, so this is a very good... So you see that this missile goes further and is more accurate than the Eagle missile, because Pac just had the best at everything. They were just so powerful. They were just so powerful. And then, yeah, and then we've got the R60M. Which is, you know, like a secondary missile. This one's really bad, actually. So this isn't like the good MiG-29, essentially. Then you've got this plane, which these Sidewinder missiles are better than the Eagle ones, and this missile is the same as the Eagle one. It's got less ECM, but it's literally like almost 100 points less. So it's just so cost efficient, this plane, it's ridiculous. Then the AT plane, in case you need to take out enemy tanks. You don't have any any bomber or whatever. It's sad. I mean, you could try getting rid of this and putting a bomber in. I don't really recommend it. Or you could get rid of 2 T-80 BVs and put a bomber in. How much does this cost? 2. Alright. So you could... so it's like, how many helos do you need? That all do the same thing. So you could get rid of this, down vet this, and then get your rocket plane for your anti-ground. Or this is just trash, don't bring this. So yeah, this can be alright, but I mean, it's always nice to have some sort of fast mover that can take out infantry that break through. So yeah, I think it's necessary. This thing is just a meme. It fires 2 of these at once, but it's just so slow. It just dies. It's just not worth it. Don't bring it. I mean, you can if you want. It's Frogfoot basically, another March to War unit. Anyway, that's it for the deck yappage. Then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about the map. Death Row, imbalanced map. Red has the good side. It's the good side because red gets this at the start, whereas blue gets this. So blue gets a much worse time at Alpha. They get 1 house. And they get a much worse time in Echo. They get a worse time in Echo because there's a lot of places here to hide for red, whereas blue gets some trees and this. So yeah, it's not fantastic. In terms of the matchup, ninth US is typically about so the forward deployment of ninth US is a lot better than 27Y, which doesn't get any on forward deployment. And then ninth US is more about its mobility and like light, thin-skinned vehicles. Try to get around people, be annoying, and of course, get in there at the start and then just defend really heavily with the best ATGMs basically in the game. And although you don't get too many of the Cook V, but yeah, so that's the plan. This map does not allow for that at all. Ninth US finds itself on the bad side, and then there's not really anywhere to maneuver. You can come around here, right? Because most of the fighting happens over here. You can come around here. You can send stuff around the side and be annoying. It is possible. But in general, it's not fantastic for ninth US, this map, really. You'd want a bigger map. 27Y is basically perfect for. All they have to do is spam Razvedka BMP2 at the start, and then swap into spamming BMP2s and BMP3s, get the AA set up, bring in the T80 BVs, and just slowly push the ninth US player back. You see a Cook V or whatever, you just smoke, pull back, artillery, go up again. There's really only so many places he can hide. Great map for a grad. He didn't bring a grad, and in the deck review I didn't really tell him to bring a grad, but you can bring a grad instead of that 2 Vetakatsir or 2-1 Vetakatsirs or what have you. So yeah. In terms of the deployments, right, we've got Son of Vulkan. He's sending a Razvedka Saperi at no vet. Spoke about that in the deck review to here. And then he's sending the BTR-80 to here. He's also got a Razvedka going the wrong way, so starting in the wrong place if he wants to go here. This should basically be put here, presumably from where it's been placed. For mid, we've got a Spets Razvedka and a Motorised Razvedka BMP2. So yeah, putting the BMP2 here is useful, but really you want it like just a little bit to the left, because then it can shoot all the way down there. So it's a shame he's missed an opportunity there. Then we've got a CV BMP2, which he's put up to here, and then presumably it'll be going into here and then into here. He's only opened one CV, which is a bit whack. A FOB for his 4 Nonas. Yeah, I spoke about this in the deck review. The deck isn't very good. Then a Tor, fast moved, and then 2 BMP3s unloading here with no forward deployment, recon forward deployment to get up to here. Another Razvedka just going into the open, I guess. I mean, really, you'd want him here, or, over here, and then he just sort of moves over or whatever. Then a T80 BV and a Conker's M. So the Conker's M makes sense because you put it here, and then you can shoot down there, and you can shoot across here, and it just gives you good cover on this. The T80 BV with 1 Tor protecting it out here on its bill. So it's not fantastic deployment, really. Switching to his opponent, we've got diWarno playing ninth US. So he's opening 2 snipers. One's going here, and one's going all the way around. That's exciting. We'll see if he gets there. Then we've got a Totu. So this is really fast because it's the 120. So he should definitely be getting that up to here. Oh, actually, no, he can't because of the hill. So yeah, he is good, actually, because then you can use your range advantage. Whereas if you're here, the tank is in range and it'll shoot you. A 3rd sniper coming up. Right, so all the snipers are on this side, I guess. Alright, whatever. I'm not sure where else you'd put them, really. This map being what it is, you could try getting one to, like, here and just hope nobody sees you with the stealth. But you'd probably get spotted and die. Another one is you can try and get in here at the start, but they'd see you going in. They'd see you going in, and then you'd be hidden, but they'd see you going in, and then they'd blow it up. Yeah, and then some regular scouts taking this building, as we spoke about. A VADS and a Stinger. So the VADS is the anti-infantry, really. So Stinger's unloading here, and VADS is there to shoot down this road. Light Rifles Dragon, just going over here for some reason. Alright. Then a Cook V. So this is the Premier ATGM, very, very strong, spoke about in the deck review. You don't want this anywhere near anything, basically. You always want it at max range. So like here would be the best place for it, really. Putting it here is, once you get it to here, a guy here could shoot you. So you got to be very careful with this thing. So here's a great spot because it can shoot down there and so on. Another great spot is here because it can shoot. It can actually shoot down this road. You can do that from here as well, but it's a bit closer. Whereas here you could actually still do it. Look at the sight lines. Yeah. Then a CV for Delta Echo. So only one CV for both players. It's often that you would open two CVs. One for Delta Alpha and one for Foxtrot Echo. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And the opponent at least should open two because it's one for Charlie Echo and one for Bravo Alpha. Whereas taking Alpha at the start as blue is basically impossible. The strat for blue basically is to try and take this as fast as possible. And if you could get yourself set up like this, you can win quite easily if you get set up like that. But you have to storm this at the start, which isn't easy, but given his division, I think it's possible. Bit of smoke. And yeah, like a recon healer or something. Anyway, so Mark 19 grenade launcher, because yeah, keep in mind that these go in 120 and the enemy doesn't have any airborne forward deployment, so you could just break a few of these down here. One of them could be a TOW 2, get set up here so it could shoot down there. Could do the same thing down this road, get a, TOW 2 as far up here as it could go, and then just shoot down there. And then behind that, you get your infantry on this side, right? You can even put a Cook V here, and then you get a guy here, and then you put him in here, so that they don't cut you. And then hooray, you've basically taken the zone, and then you can sort off, because you'll probably have a unit here, there'll be an Echo, you'll have a unit here and here, there'll be an Echo, and then you just sort of try and push them out of Echo. Don't bother with Alpha at all. If you own Echo and Charlie, you're on a +2. So, in fact, I think it might be... No, it is a +2, I think. Is it not a +4? Because they'll have this, so it's just 2 to them. 2, 2. Yeah, no, it's a +2. So that's it for the deployments. Now we'll cover the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. Sometimes they don't spend all their income at the start and then deploy a stinger and hope I don't notice. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos at a rate of 1 per week. At the highest tiers, they also get their games cast at a rate of 1 per month, so if you're feeling bad about that ad block, and you need some coaching or what have you, great way to improve at the game. Yeah, just thanks for watching the videos. I am unemployed. This is my sole source of income as I try and finish this PhD, which just seems to be taking an infinite amount of time because my supervisors won't let me submit the thesis. They want me to keep changing things. So I do appreciate it, just everything, just watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, etc. It all helps, and it's for a good cause. Me, basically, right? Anyway, so you see he's open fire to hit. I guess he was worried about... so basically, 27Y, if he wanted to intercept all these, the only way he could really is by using a helicopter. And so he probably assumed that was going to be there. You see the sniper engaging. These are really strong. Bam! Look at that. What a double kill. And then there he goes. Yeah, it's the power of that 50 cal. That Barrett 50 cal got that 1 shot, 2 kills there. That's how it works. It's just like the movies. Anyway, you can use the F-16 to strafe people. Looks like there's been a bit of... Okay, I was going to say you might lose that one, but no, he didn't. Yeah, well, what is there to say? So blue doing well in the early game, as you'd expect. Red's deployment is kind of lethargic, to tell you the truth. The things he's bought are just weird. Also, a fob, right? Probably the biggest... egregious most mistake, right? So that's 175 points. That could have been 1 more of these. And imagine if he had a Razvedka BMP2 up here at the start, he wouldn't have lost this position. Imagine if he'd already had it here, right? This would all be dead. So, just something to keep in mind, right? So BTR-80 versus grenade launcher vehicle. The grenade launcher vehicle is cheaper, but it is kind of better, to tell you the truth. The advantage of the BTR-80 is it's got more HP, it's got 10, whereas all the other kind of wheeled guys tend to have 8. All the like BTR-60 PB and all that. Is it 8 or is it 6? I mean, this is 6, but it's a Humvee. Anyway, the grenade launcher is stronger than the KPVT, so But there's no smoke and so on. So the Cluster 2 killed the T-80BV, which is not particularly surprising, to tell you the truth, because it was only protected by one Tor and no AA. Generally, you don't want to open T-80BV. You want to open like BMP2 spam and then get the AA set up and then bring the T-80BV. And did you see how fast that missile was? These are very, very scary. But yeah, you want to leave it 2,800 meters away. Otherwise, the tank gun might kill you. So this is too close, really. It should be back here where the TOW2 one is. Or even further back, like here. Light Rifles Dragon, you would expect to beat Motorised because these are 7 men with 1 machine gun. And these are 9 men with 3 machine guns. Also, the grenade launcher is going to start helping out at some point. Although it looks like it's going on this guy. And yeah, Vulkan's son can't use his BMP3s because these are killing him. So these really should be like here, and then you can and here, and then you can kill this guy, and you can shoot across there. But yeah, this thing is just this thing and this thing are making it so we can't really use them because they'll come up here now, and you'll see how fast the missile is. Razvedka BMP2 engaged, right? So these scouts are not in a great place. Vads is moving up, but it's really, really slow. So here we... Oh, he's moving it. Oh, that's a shame, actually, because he could have really done a number on these guys. It's not an attack move order either, so... It's a shame, he could have killed one. Anyway, more BTR-80s, dropping off some Motorised Metis, so I can't really see diWarno getting through here, but he is on a +2 because Red never capped this. And look at that, the sniper is getting in. He is about to be spotted, though. Or at least the car will be. The sniper will probably not be. But if you see that there, well then you know there's got to be somebody. It must have been transporting somebody. Or at least that's the assumption. So sniper does the 50 cal of doom on the Conqueror's M. He did miss that one. Sadly, no trick shots. Bam! Look at that. Took off 3 HP. So if it hits, bam! Dead. Pretty crazy piece of kit. Oh, if he'd hit that, this would be dead, and everybody inside would be dead. Pretty crazy piece of kit. So it's already paid for itself. It's 45 points, and that was 80. So, pretty crazy, right? You only get 3 of them, though, and it's like... So if this came in loads of divisions, it would be a problem. But because it's just in this one... you know, you got to think about it in the context of this division. But really, it should cost more. It used to be 35, now it's 45. It should be about 50 or 60, but whatever. I mean, it's only in one division, right? Also, a generous channel joiner told me that it's fine, and he generously joined the channel, so he was generously joining the channel, right? So... you know, he's right. But yeah, now these are just coming back here. So this needs to go kill this. But he's got to be careful because if he messes up, the sniper can kill the helicopter. Just like in Modern Warfare 2. You know, when you're in the boat and you're like, Shepard must die. Captain Price. Anyway, I'm not sure where this was going, really. That was not very intelligent. Big shame, really. So... Yeah, typically if you want to do that, the siege should be going first. And there you go. So he gets that. And then... So, you know, Son of Vulkan, he has clued in. He has he's switched his seed off. So he's not a bad player. And now, as soon as this... Now he should switch it back on. Which he's not done. Because if this is facing away, it can't shoot the missile. So you switch it back on as soon as it faces away, and then you shoot him in the arse and kill him. Seed in Warno is a lot weaker than Seed in Broken Arrow. Here we go, Razvedka BMP2 versus... This even has good optics, it still can't see it. Look at that. Bang! 2 damage. And that was on the side armor, so 2 armor there. Uh-oh, I think he's seen him now. Oh dear. Yeah, so this is why you leave the gun off if you actually want it to use it for, like, recon. Especially if it's, like, here, you know. If it was in this forest, maybe you could go hide or something. But, yes, this is a very dead sniper, basically. Has he switched the gun off now? Oh no, he can't shoot, because now the 4 armor is facing him and he can't do it. These guys get a little bit too close there, and now they're routed. Lots of sapper rounds. Everything's on fire. Not having a great time as they moonwalk backwards across the... But yeah, the sniper engages. Bam! One shot, one kill. Bam! One shot, one kill. Yeah, pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Where's that Cook V? Okay, so the Cook V, look how fast this missile is. Look at that. Compare it to this one. This is very fast. Oh, it loses the track in there. And yeah, there's a lot of TOW2s here, so all the BMPs are dying. There's no recon here, right? You'd have to get like recon up to here. But then the snipers shoot it. Basically, it never should have got to this point. Now that 27Y is in this point, he's really going to struggle to sort this out, I think. So it's not looking great. So on the right side, the engineers... I mean, I don't know if... This is clearly not going well for diWarno. This should be in the trees so it doesn't just die. Because he's taking additional damage because he's not in cover there. And... okay, so he clusters the Motorised. This is still switched off. He's bought 4 Igglers now. Oh, he switches it on. You see the missile, the way it shoots out the top and curves. And then he just switched it back off again. He could have probably got a second shot in there. It's kind of weird. Anyway, Razvedka BMP2 is really going to ruin these guys' day. Because they're just in the open there. And, yeah, if I was diWarno, I'd stop pushing. And I'd put a guy in here. Or at least resupply this so it can shoot. Because he is in danger. Like, if all the red stuff here just came in, it could probably take it. Anyway, BMP2K here for the zone, which he's just kind of left there. Could just switch off the cover, which he's done, and then just put it right behind this house. That's a good way of doing it. The cluster 2's better. He must have 2 of these, because it's not been 4 minutes since we last saw it. And he gets a double kill, so that good kill there. Gets 2 BTR-80s, that's 70 points. And this would have been better, but I don't think he could see this, so that's fair enough, really. Coffin launcher, these are really good. So indirect coffin launching, you just hide behind a building and shoot. So that would be great to try and get up to like here. And then with it being 1750 meters, it would be able to kill these. And it would be able to kill this and this and this and so on. So healer's coming in. There is a stinger here. On the left, the war still rages on. TOW2A also has tandem. So a TOW2 will take 3 shots to kill a T-80BV. But because the TOW2A is tandem, it deals +1 damage, and it only takes 2 shots. But this time, because this has ground surveillance radar, it's got exceptional optics when stood still, and that's how we could see this. So he's got some Nonas out, and he's smoking here to cut off the Cook V, I guess. Grenade launchers just kind of hanging out and dying, so it's not really what you want. These are the big boy rockets, you can tell from how they look. And they glow a bit more than the other ones. No, the grenade launcher vehicle shouldn't really be in here. Not infantry, really. And really, the 9th US player should be winning these fights, because light rifles law is a lot better than... I mean, Saperi RPO is a big problem, actually. But apart from that. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to say, really. I suppose this would have to be slightly closer to shoot that. Drones out, but there are 4... Wow, first English shot killed the drone. I mean, it's all RNG. They have 50% evasion, which is like... it's like ECM, but better. Bam! 1 shot, 1 kill. He knows that if he kills this, it will disappear. And there you go now. Do you notice how this just switched targets? It's because it can't see him anymore. He's not moved. But the ground surveillance radar just died, so there you go. And when it's moving, it loses the ground surveillance radar as well, and it becomes very good optics instead of exceptional. Because you'll note that it was shooting that actually before the guy died, and that's because he was running away with him, which he kind of had to do. So you'll see that this will deal 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it dealt 5. Oh, but it has 11 HP. Yeah, because this is the one without the tandem, so it would take 3 regular TOW2 shots to kill T-80BV, but it would take 2 regular TOW2 shots to kill a T-80B, because it doesn't have the ERA, which gives it 1 more armor. The TOW 2A has the exact same pen as the TOW 2, but it has tandem, which means it deals +1 damage to ERA. So whereas this will deal 5, this will deal 6, which means that by the time the second shot happens, because ERA only gives you 1 more HP, it's actually disadvantageous. So Nona going on the sniper there, and he dies, so that's a huge kill, honestly. He should have pinged this one as well and tried to kill this one. The sniper's a very, very difficult thing to shift. M60s, I mean, I don't really understand this. It's nice to push, right? I guess, right? Yeah, why not attack? Why not attack? Because if the 27Y player gets a chance to sort himself out, then he's just going to win. Having said that, just running across the field with some scouts and then getting shot at and not running back and just sort of sending your tanks out and dying and stuff. I basically, diWarno's micro can't keep up with what he's trying to do, which is fight here, fight here, fight here, and fight here. So you got to pick your battles. Defending is easier than attacking, just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, attacking here is basically going to be very difficult. I think if you're 9th US, I think basically like trying to get up to here would be cool. Like from here to here, get some infantry in here, put the Cook V here, right? So it can shoot all the way down there. But look at that, that can shoot across. He's going to lose the Humvee AGL there. So the Conquer's M. That is 80 points. So, yeah, the Nona, the upvetted Nona. So actually getting some decent hits in here. It's got corrected shot. Perhaps I was too hasty in my criticism of the 4 Nona Fob 27Y. No, I think maybe bringing the laser guided Akatsias and the Grad is probably better. So you see the Vads just taking out all the infantry there. And here we go, so Cluster and Seed. Cluster's trying to, he thinks it's in here, so he knows it's in here, but he doesn't know exactly where. And then it died because the Seed was actually coming this way, so it... And then this isn't seedable anyway, and it's got really nice range and accuracy, so that's not fantastic. Haste making waste, right? You could just get a smoke mortar, get a couple light rifles law, and then maybe an engineers, smoke here, and then just run across, and now you're in here. You make sure you got a stinger back here because of the helos. So that's what he's using his fob for, he's using them to resupply the helos. Okay. Yeah, it makes you really weak at the start. So it's a shame, really. So 9th US, he's managed to right. He's going for the toss. So that's good. And he gets it. And the Eagles are going for the Igglers. Double seed out here. Oh, and then the wow. Okay, so he just got hit by 3 Igglers. All right. That is very, very unlucky, actually. It's really not fantastic. Anyway, what's the plan here? I'm not sure. Basically, I'm not sure what advice to give at this point. The 9th US player's taken quite a few bad trades, and now the 27Y player's managed to stabilise the front. Tick stopped. And yeah, it was just the 9th US player like pushing here was probably a bridge too far. And now he's got a problem, because these the BMP2s, they don't stop. The BMP3s don't stop. It's a shame, like, he's not using all his assets, right? So this coffin launcher could have engaged some of these targets and so on. So he does have a Cook V here, but it's not in the right place, so it can't actually shoot. And now this would actually be in tank gun range, so if he does try and shoot, he's going to get shot back. But you'll see what I mean about like the aim times and stuff. Okay, no, because he didn't come from the forest. So he came out into the open there, so I'm pretty sure he lost his cover. Whereas if he'd come through the forest, he would have had good stealth. Although there is a recon here, so maybe he would have been spotted either way. But yeah, he came out of the forest and then he got shot. So it's a shame, really. But yeah, back when it had 1 second aim time. I mean, this was 3, but what can I say? But yeah, he saw the Razvedka now. He's got the... You see how accurate this is with the corrected shot? You see that the dispersion circle is very tight, and that's because this TOW 2 is giving him corrected shot. Really helps with sniping units. I'm not sure what's going on here. Just chilling out in the middle of a field and getting hit by Kokons. So, yeah, I don't know what to say, really. If you're blue, I think I would switch to a more defensive posture. You know, always be sending, like, one unit all the way around the back. Why not? Just a tow-2 vehicle or something. Stinger or whatever. And, yeah, just another one, right? Just one around each side. I mean, it's easy advice to give. It does weaken your front line if you keep doing it. But it almost always pays off. So M60 against T80BV. Yeah, is he not going to smoke? Or, no, he's just. So this has gone to low cohesion, and the way this wonderful game works is that it then target switches to something that has high cohesion, and that's been in the game for 3.5 years. But we're not allowed to point these things out, otherwise the fanboys get upset. But you see how much faster this missile is than this missile. A hog goes down there. This one-shots the hog. This man needs to fall back a building instead of just sitting there and getting shot. Another thing he can do is drop the copperhead rounds on him. Oh, he is. Great. That might be why he's staying there. He is missing, though. I mean, what? It can't click properly. Will it still hurt it? I mean, it's right next to it, but... You know what this game's like. So yeah, it's not doing full damage there. Because it's landing right next to it. If it was right on top of it, it would do a bit more, but... Yeah, it's a shame really, could have killed that. Anyway, the Nona, he's getting good value out of the Nona, I think. Stinger's not really in a position to do anything about this. So, more planes. I'd be focusing those AA positions down. The Iglas, basically, right? He's killed... Oh no, the Strel's still here. Ow. Is he going to be able to shoot again? No. Great. So, this should evac, really. Yeah, just the Igla spam. So basically, if an Igla shoots, basically as you're flying over things, you just keep F1 to ping, right? So you hit F1 and you just, where did the missile come from? Ping. Where did the missile come from? Ping. It's hard to do it because those missiles travel quite fast and they're quite small. It's difficult to see. But then you just hit all your pings with your arty. And the enemy should be moving them, but they never, you know, sometimes they don't. Usually they don't. It depends how high level the player is. If they're a top level player, as soon as their AA shoots, it'll start moving. Once it's, you know, finished shooting, it should be moving. I do that every time, because I'm the world #1 broken arrow player. So you see the Hog brings more rockets than the Ito one. And you see that it basically takes all of them anyway to kill one squad. So this will one-shot that, because 18 pen can one-shot 2 armor. So that's an important thing to know, really. And once again, oh mate, so you saw how fast that missile went. But yeah, losing the Cook V's is not great. You never want to duel them. They should always be defensive. And then, you know, just don't take the risk. You used to be able to duel. So he's going for that Resvedka BMP2, but it's dead. Man, looks like diWarno might get some... So he's brought up another copy launcher. He's got this one here. He's never fired it. It's a shame, really. He's really in danger of losing this. He needs to buy a unit for here, a unit for here, a unit for here. You know, get some ATGMs up in here, or an M60 or something. Because otherwise he's getting pushed out here. Although red has just kind of stopped, right? If this Igla was up here, this Tow Cobra would be dead. BMP2K comes in now, so he's actually got 2 CVs here. It's just... Yeah, interesting. And yeah, the Nona spam is increasing. He's got the fob. And yeah, just a lack of, you know, come on, you can run away. It's a shame, really. Yeah, this isn't great for blue at all. And what's he doing? He's buying for the left. It's, yeah, there's a big problem here. Maybe he's not aware of it. But if you get pushed out of a zone, you have to assume the enemy's going to keep going. So the CGP thing, the copperheads, because the dispersion circle is so tight, if you don't get it right on them, you don't actually do anything, because of the way artillery works in this game, it's just absurd. All artillery is basically sniper rifles, and then a grad just fires lots of little sniper rounds over a large area. T8M, you don't see this very often, that's for sure, because it's bad. The advantage of it is that it fires 2 Vickers at once. The disadvantage is it's slow and it dies. So it's not great. It's very slow. Look how slow it's going. It's not great. So here we go though. We're gonna get to see it shoot, and it's gonna shoot 2 Vickers. Whoa! It shot 2 Vickers, and the gun killed it. Wow. Okay. And usually they don't make it out. Oh wow. No, it's definitely dead. And then, no, it made... Wow, incredible. Just vanished into thin air there. And then the Iglas hit the Eagle. So you should definitely know these are here now, because they're always shooting from there, so... Those copperheads on the on that Igla position got hit by another Eagle, by another Igla. Igla's all upvetted now from all the hits they've been getting. Like, look, this is at no vet, this is at 2 vet, because they've been killing planes. Need some infantry in here, really, if you're blue. It's not great. ATGMs, I mean, okay, it's good to have a couple, but you need infantry in front as well, surely. Anyway, these are on defensive, so they'll automatically smoke, which is what's happening there. Smoke and reverse automatically. You might have done it manually, actually. No, they're on defensive. And here we go, copperhead rounds. Bam! Double Igla kill there. I believe there were 2 there. It's just the game only registers 1. We need to identify the bodies. It's kind of hard to do. The shells are still coming in. But yeah, we should expect to see 4 bodies. And now we see none because they've been pulverized by the additional artillery rounds, I suppose. If that's how that works. Anyway, you see the Vads win in the forest against the Saperia. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty retarded. So, you know, he could have brought his own ZU-23 things, which are very similar. The Vads is better, but it costs more. Anyway, Son of Vulkan gets some more CV in, and this time he's going to shift move it across the open so he can get spotted. Look at that. BMP2 versus Vads. You'd expect the BMP2 to win this, really. But you see how the VAD starts fires under it. And that makes its accuracy lower. This is so silly. Another T8M goes down in the background. But you, look how they target switch. Look how they target switch. Because that guy was on low cohesion. They might even start switching back now. No, because now they're both on low cohesion. They just keep shooting. So, yeah. If they hadn't target switched, I think they would have won that solo, but... Anyway, Blue getting another CV up for Echo. It is +2 to Vulkan, and you know, this has just never been, like, he knows these are here because they're shooting him, so this would be a perfect opportunity, especially on these two, just kill them. But I don't know, it was purchased and then just promptly forgotten about. Really, this should be coming to here, and you should have an ATGM position here to shoot down there. Then you get your infantry into the town, move up to the town to here, and then you can sort of attack from here to here. You should have guys up here anyway, but if you don't, just get harder. And there we go, so we got it. We got one. Look how cool it looks. Very good, nice piece of kit. Very nice piece of kit. Another CV goes down here. I think it died to the Nonas. I don't see what else could have possibly killed that. It's hard to hold this zone. It's just hard being on this side. It's just not very fun at all. This matchup definitely, on this map, definitely favours 27Y. If you're on a big map, like Urban Frontlines, or Two Ways, or something like that, definitely 9th US has the advantage. Because they can just send stuff all the way around the sides and really stretch out the... because all your stuff's kind of expensive as 27Y. You know, you don't get any medium tanks, they're all T80 BVs. So, Mi-24V gets routed and will live to fight another day. You can send it back to the FOB, which still has 11,000 supplies with 13 minutes left, so... Don't bring the FOB in 1v1. It's not a good idea, really. I've experimented with it, and it just never seems to work. It just makes you lose. If you want more supply, bring 3 cards of supply. So... TOW2 probably going to go down there. Those aren't cheap. Those TOW2 buggies are like 120 points or something. Something like that. I think he's lost them all, so I can't check. Might be less, might be 100. I can't remember. I know these are 80, but this is different because it's not as fast. It does have more HP though. So will the TOW Cobra retreat, or will he just sit there and get shot? He's chosen the latter, and now he's dead. So, yeah, this is what we meant about having an ATGM position here, because look, this tank is just a big problem now. So there didn't need to be two here, one could have been here. Looking down there. And so now he falls onto the corpse of his brother, who was in exactly the same place, and had exactly the same thing happen to him. It's very sad, but, you know, the American military doesn't learn its lessons. At all, really. So, yeah, you see how the TOR can shoot it and this doesn't shoot when it's facing the wrong way and so on. That got the T-80BV. Must have been a side shot. Yeah, because, yeah. Seed's back and he switched off the TOR. Now he's switching it back on when it shows it's back. This should just be evac'd. It shouldn't just be sat around. Yeah, and then the Seed gets hit by the AA, because that's life, innit? Anyway, on this side there's a lot more guys. Mistakes being made here, just sort of rocking. Oh, here we go. It's 100 points. There you go. And that's because of the optics and the speed. And now he's just been side shot, and now he's dead. It's not ideal, really. He's selling his military police fit. No, he's not. It's right there. My bad. So, did this get anybody? I wasn't looking. Stinger needs to come back now. Humvee needs to get behind here, but it's too late. And yeah, looks like Red's taken this zone. It's not looking great for Blue. This is very dead. He got side shot there, or it got rear shot, I think. Either way, it would have died. I mean, 4 rounds at that range, 21 pen on those, I think. Pretty crazy piece of kit, this RPG-27. And yeah, the Nonas continue their tirade. I mean, this hasn't really been firing. Oh no, it has. It's reloading. If you get 2 of them with corrected shot, you can definitely kill this, but that's easier said than done, trying to get corrected shot on this. So you need to be quite close with your recon. And look at the VADs, but the grenade launcher will kill it. And down it goes. So, I'm not sure what Blue does now. I think he's sort of scuppered. If you're Red in this situation, you don't stop here. You put a guy up here, and then they can't just set up here and then push you back in, because this is a nice setup position, so you need to make sure that if you're Red, you get somebody up to here. You can hear the drones. Yeah, the drone will scout targets. Hopefully the Igloo won't immediately kill it. And yeah, it's just a case of, well, they know where he is, because there's not really anywhere else he could be. Also, they have recon and so on, so they'll seen him unload. But look how fast that is. It missed. And then it's got a salvo length of 2, so now it's got to reload, and that's because it's got 2 pylons on the back. Yeah, so Red takes the zone. Although he needs to hide this. You can't just sit around and you need to hide behind a building, otherwise you're going to get hit by you know, an AT plane or something. Surprised we've not seen it yet. We're just seeing more drones. And yeah, Red being a bit too lethargic. So yeah, once you take this as Red, you get up to here, you push into here, and it's basically GG. It's very, very difficult for Blue to do anything about that. +4 to Red now. Can't see this living very long either. And yeah, I think it's just Blue focused his efforts in the wrong place, really. Getting up to here is nice, but it's all open ground. It's not great. I think it would have been better to try and play, like when I'm on the Blue side, I always like to play like this. And then just sod alpha. You have to hold this. If you lose this, it's very bad for you, and you need to hold this. But yeah, if you take this as Blue, it's kind of big, and that helps you get into here, and then that helps you get into here. So it can work, it can be done. And yeah, the SAP area RPOs at Novet, you get quite a lot of them, right? Like 6, so... But the VADs do win, it's very funny. Oh wow, the CV's just been sent up. Oh no, the CV into the jaws of the coffin launcher. Crazy double kill there. On the other side, a BMP-2 was just sat in the open and got hit by the AT plane, like we spoke about. Like, it should have been behind this building, so that the missiles can't hit it. Although, with the drone being there, that he could come in from this side, but then the TOR would get him, etc, etc. Not really seeing many fighters out from Red. I suppose it's hard into the Eagles, but... T8M? About as useful as always. And yeah, these scouts aren't having a great time. So Blue's taken this zone, mainly because he hasn't actually taken it, it's just it... You know, the CV just ran up to him and he shot it. And he's got this zone back because red never pushed up to here, so blue was able to just reinforce to here and then jump in. And red never brought... So there's the MiG-29. And red never brought up his... Line, that's a lot of planes. Red never brought up his AA, right? There's one Tor all the way back here. We know he's got loads of AA in his deck from the deck review, which we didn't skip, did we? So he could have brought up some AA, you know, and then this wouldn't be happening. He also could have hidden his CV behind a building. Behind here's another great one. Or behind here. And now, yeah, with the power of drones and so on, Red's basically just lost all his guys in here. So pretty crazy turnaround. Just a bit of a misplay from Red and a good play from Blue. So I guess Red's more concerned with the mid and so on. But it is now +2 to Blue again, and it's gone from looking like it's won over to looking like it's not delivery, it's diWarno. Haha. So that Strela 10M still taking names over here. Does miss that one, and if he evacs right now, he should be alright. But he... Okay. He did not do so. Although that one missed. But yeah, if he'd evac'd here, it would have curled around that way, and I think he would have been alright, but he did try and come back around here or something. Anyway, yeah. This falls back to here, which is a great idea. And yeah, the Nona's definitely going to take out these light rifles now. AGL's just kind of running into the enemy and getting shot. It's hard to justify, really. But I maybe thought there's nobody there. And here we go. So Red has bought a CV here, but he's literally got nothing to defend it. So Blue should just run forwards and just kill this. But there you go. So the tick's now on Red's. +2 to Red. 5 minutes left. And, like, where's it going? Why don't you just hide here? Why do you need to run into the enemy so he can see you and blow you up with his plane? Strela 10M manages to survive. And look at the Cook V. Oh, it's out of rounds. Oh, that's really not what you want right now. This M60 should be up here as well. That could contribute. And this, you know, you should really leave it in the trees because, well, what can I say? Just sort of running. What? So, yeah, just shooting with your M60. I mean, people start panicking towards the end. But yeah, all he's got to do here is just run up here and he could kill that. There's nothing. These don't have guns on them. It's only ATGMs. And unlike in real life and in Broken Arrow, in Warno, ATGMs do not shoot at infantry. Interesting. So, Strela is spotted by the Aquila, and then now he should hit it with the Arty, but the Arty ran out of ammo a long time ago and never got restocked. So here we go, he's moving up now. And you got to be careful with these attack move orders, because they'll take you around the buildings, and then that means you get revealed, so if there's somebody here, he shoots you. So what you can do is shift-click to this building, then shift-click to this building, and then it'll go through the buildings. Anyway, the CV's got to go. AGL has him spotted. This guy's out of range. And, yeah, so like having one here, great, you can shoot down there. But you always want one here as well, because look, there's more guys coming. 4 minutes left. +4 to Red, but now it's a +2. Is a +2 enough? I'm not sure. It's like 300 points in 4 minutes. It sounds close. Veto 2 hits the T80BV. T80BV thinks the M60 is more. It probably can't see that. Yeah, it can't actually see the Veto 2, I think. Because, okay, this is a very interesting line of sight tool. Apparently neither of them can see each other, but they're both shooting, so very exciting. Now he's stunned up. Another Ito there. So if you're Red at this point, what you want to be doing is just smoking here. Smoke, 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 smoke. Get this guy in, and now you're on a +4. But he's not. He's going for the HE. And, yeah, all he's got to do is just sit in here. Right? So, these guys are damaged. He's getting some supply up. And, yeah, I'm not sure what Blue can do. I mean, he's got another CV. What do you do if you're Blue? You get those National Guard mortars, and you smoke up all this, and you get a CV in here. And there you go. So he's in now. No smoke, but he is in. So now it's a +4. So it's not looking great for diWarno. Looks like he's gonna lose this one. Although we'll see what happens with this Humvee. But it's just gonna run into the enemy and get shot apparently. So okay, he's changed his mind on that. And here we go, the Cook V triple vet for that juicy 85% accuracy. And yeah, you see that this gun is really not so bad. It does run out of ammo really quick, but it's pretty good, especially since the minigun's got nerfed. Right, so he's just coming in this corner again. Yeah, I mean, this is where the smoke comes in, really. You want to be smoking. And so, okay, so now it's a +2. Is a +2 enough? I'm not sure. In the meantime, yeah, this guy seems pretty safe, and this guy doesn't. If these Saperi RPO keep coming in, he's dead. How many of these does he have? I swear you only get 2. I know one died, because we saw it die while we were zoomed in, watching some guys moonwalk across a field. And no. Yeah, no. There we go. There it goes. So now it's going to be a +4 till red again. So is it going to be a draw, or is blue just going to lose? It's not looking great for blue at all. Just too many bad trades. I mean, you'd sort of expect it. He did try and play around his strengths, like the forest fighting obviously is blue strength. Hold the open with ATGMs. Like, look at that. It's absolutely wild. And because of the salvo length of 2, oh, that missed with 80% accuracy. It missed. Crazy. Whoa, no, this is not what you need with a minute left in the game. Smoke. You need to smoke. He chooses death. So now it's going to be a +6 to red with a minute left, which I think makes red a winner. A +8. Yeah, it's not ideal. Just too many bad trades, basically. Just eventually caught up with him, not using his arty and stuff. I think, to be honest, he bought too many planes. For death row, it's kind of hard to suppress enemy air defenses. If you are, you've really got to hit him with the arty and stuff, which he wasn't really doing. But yeah, there you go. Looks like right at the end there. Looks like Vulkan brought it back. So, I mean, it's basically what we spoke about at the start. I don't watch these ahead of time. I just figured early game 9th US would have the advantage. If the 27Y player sticks to his guns, he can turn it around. So we've got another CV here, which is just going to go into the same place and get blown up by the same things. And, you know, just remember to, like, abuse smoke, basically. This game really did come down to the wire. I know this is going to be a big difference, but that's just because of this +8. If he'd kept these alive a little bit longer, he would have been fine. So, yeah, it's big oof, really. But it was always going to be an uphill struggle against 27Y on the bad side of death row. 9th US is a really good division. It's just, like, a narrow map is not really where you want to play it on. So, yeah, GG. So, Son of Vulkan here, rank 4,841 with 374 games this season, and more games than me total. So this guy needs to watch some Hippie YouTube videos, basically. He's very much underperforming for the fact that he has more games than me, which is kind of interesting. And then we've got diWarno, who's ranked 235 with 236 games this season, which is less. And only 892 games total. So you know, definitely punching above his weight, right? The other guy has 2,000 more games than him. It does make a difference. And yeah, like, this could have been used a bit more. Could have got the second one out. And there were, like, you know, the coffin launchers were bought and then not used for ages. I think genuinely blue just attacked in the wrong place. Fighting in that forest made a lot of sense, but apart from that, I think he should have done what I suggested at the start. I think that's the best way to play death row from the bad side. But then I tell everybody, and then when they're against me, they know what I'm going to do, and then I get beaten up. But hey, that's life, innit? So if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, and I hope you have a lovely day. GG.